What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Hope, and I'm bringing you a video where I'm going to show you guys all of my settings in Call of Duty Vanguard to optimize your gameplay on PC. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is I'm on Windows 11, so it might look a little bit different for you guys. You're going to type in GPU in the start menu when it pops up. You're going to go to graphics settings. Now, once the GPU settings opens up, the first thing you're going to want to do under change default graphics settings, make sure your hardware accelerated GPU scheduling is turned on. Then you can go back to the main graphics settings. Now mine is already added in here, but what you're going to do is you're going to want to locate where Vanguard is installed. So for me, it is on this Intel solid state drive under Blizzard Games, Call of Duty Vanguard. And then here's the exe for Vanguard. So you can just copy this location, go back into here. You're going to choose Browse right here. And when this pops up, you paste that location into that top bar. You choose Vanguard.exe, and then you click Add. Once you do that, you scroll down, go to Options, and make sure that it is on High Performance. Once you do that, you can just close out of everything. The next thing that you're going to want to do when you open up File Explorer, go into your main Documents folder. Once you're in here, look for the Call of Duty Vanguard folder. Go under Players. Under the ADV options file. Mine, I just put it on read only because I made some changes to it, so I'm going to undo that. So make sure if you go to right click on it and go to Properties, make sure it is not read-only. Then you're going to edit the document. If you double-click, it will open it up. Now, under the renderer work count, this is the most important thing that you can do to help optimize this game. So as you can see, my renderer work count is 4. For Intel CPUs, you're going to change this number to 6. If you are on an AMD CPU, like for example, I am on a 3700X. You're going to change it to half of your cores that are in here. So for me, I have 8 cores. So you're going to change this number to 4. Now, if you have an AMD processor and your number is 6 for whatever processor you have, still change it to 4. 4 is the lowest number that you're going to want in here. Okay, then you're just going to save by doing Control S or just File Save, close out, go back into the properties and just do read only so Vanguard doesn't change the settings on you. It's the best way to ensure that it doesn't get altered every time you launch the game. Now we're just going to get right into the graphics settings within Call of Duty Vanguard. So the first thing I would do once you are loaded into Vanguard, ensure that all of your shaders are installed. You'll see it pop up at the top, so make sure that those are all installed before you launch into anything or join anyone's party. Then you're going to go into settings. I'm going to show you everything that I use. I use controller, so I'll show you my controller settings and my aim settings, all that stuff. So we're going to first start under the graphics settings. So under display, I personally use full screen borderless, so when I am streaming to YouTube, when I'm recording or anything, and I tab out to go change something or whatever, I have it on full screen borderless. If you want it on full screen, that's fine. I would also recommend that if you're on a single monitor setup. But either way, either one of these should be more than fine. The display resolution should automatically be captured. Your monitor, you're going to choose your main monitor. This is my main one. I have 3 of these plus my capture card. The refresh rate will cap at whatever your top refresh rate is. If you are on full screen borderless, if you're on full screen, you'll be able to alter that and just make sure that it's at the highest that it can possibly go. So I'll go back to borderless. VSync, you're going to want to turn this off. VSync menus, turn this off. Frame rate limit, I personally set it to unlimited. You can change this to custom, and then in the show more option, you can choose what you want your frames to be when you are playing the game to be capped at, your menu custom games when you're just like sitting in the menu, and when you're not focused on the game you can have it be like 30 because you don't want it taking away resources from your computer. So that's totally up to you. I just leave it on unlimited, so it's not a big deal. The aspect ratio, I just leave it on automatic. Do 16:9. If you have a different monitor, if you have one of the ultra wides, you can change that to yours. Brightness, you just got to play around with it to whatever setting you seem works best for you. Display gamma, I have it on the 2.2 sRGB. I haven't noticed any real differences, but you can see here in the recommendation, sRGB is usually used for a monitor because it's got a better color range than a TV. So if you're on a TV, change it to the other option. Focus mode, I have it turned off. Display adapter, make sure it is on your display adapter. For reference, as you can see here, I have an RTX 3070 with an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. So my settings may be a little bit different than what you would want. So you just got to play around with it to see what works best for your build that you have on PC. So these are just the shader and texture streamings. I leave mine on for the texture streaming. Some people like to turn it off, but I prefer to have it on. It's personal preference of mine. That's to restart the shaders. I don't want to do that because it could take some time. So we're going to go to quality. I have mine on custom. Render resolution, make sure it's on 100. Don't go any higher. Don't go any lower. You don't really need that. Just make sure it renders at whatever resolution that you are playing at. You don't need anything more than that. Dynamic resolution, I have that turned off. Texture resolution, I have it on medium. Low, I've tried using low, but the stuff just looks too blurry to me. As you can see in this picture, let me move my camera a little bit. That's the game. So it just looks a little too blurry to me. It's not really something I enjoy. So I leave it on medium. If you guys want it a little bit lower, so it takes less strain away, that's totally up to you. I prefer medium. Texture filter, anisotropic, I have that on low. I'm not worried about the details of some of the stuff I'm looking at from an angle. Let me move this up to the top corner so you can see some of this, the text here. Particle quality level, I have it on medium. It doesn't affect your VRAM too much, so as you can see, it's not really doing anything. Particle resolution, I have that on low. Bullets, impacts, and sprays, I have that on. Now, I know some people are like, it's going to take away too much from your system, whatever. There's no point in having it. I prefer to have it so if I'm getting shot from behind and it hits the wall in front of me, I'll be able to know that that's where I'm getting shot from a little bit better if they don't hit me. Shader quality, I have that on high. That's just what the default was, so I left that on. I'm sure you can change it to low. This is just the intensity of the lighting treatment on some surfaces, so it might change the color a little bit. So it's all preference. I'm going to change it to low now, actually. Tessellation, I only do nearby only. Again, I'm not really too concerned with like some of the ground textures as I'm running around and playing. I just prefer nearby, so if there is a guy close to me, he's around a corner, I might be able to see him a little bit better. Level of detail distance range. Now, some of these settings are very new, so I've been trying to play around with them a little bit, and these are what I have found work for me. So the level of distance range, I just have it on standard. I don't want long. If I'm in a mid-range gunfight, I want to be able to see some of those details. If there's like a wall or sandbag or whatever that might be there, and I want to be able to know if I'm going to hit that or the player. So I just have that on standard. Nearby level of detail and distant level of detail, I'm going to keep those on high. As you can kind of tell from these pictures, it gets a little pixelated with some of the stuff, and if there's some stuff there, like you can see the top of these bars are kind of like hollowed out compared to here. I want to know if I'm hitting something, because if I'm not seeing that and I'm shooting those little corner things that aren't showing up on my screen, I want to know that it's there. So that's why I leave those on high. Clutter draw distance, this is set the distance up to which small ground elements such as foliage, rocks, and various decals are visible. I just put that on low. I didn't see a real need for that. The volumetric quality level, I don't know why it changed. I had it on low, so I would recommend low because I'm not really that concerned with like the little fog and the lighting coming through doors and stuff like that and the details of that. So I just put that on low. Uh, these screen space shadows, I have that on. This increases the detail level of the shadows in the view with the possibility of affecting only local surfaces such as your weapons and characters. You can do like local or off. I don't think this affects your performance too much. So it's just how much detail that you want to be able to see. I'm just gonna turn it off. Shadow map resolution, I have it on medium. Again, it doesn't appear to affect your don't put it on ultra. Let's just say it that way. It does have a pretty good impact on your performance. So I'm just gonna leave mine on low. I don't think you need anything like higher than that, unless you really want to see a lot of details. Sun shadow cascades, set the quality of the direct or the distant sunlight shadows. Change that to low. I don't think you need that. I'm not worried about the shadows really far away from me that the sun is giving out. The cache sun and spot shadows, I have that both on. Spot cache size, I have that on high. Set the cache size of the spotlight shadows. I'm actually going to lower this to like medium. And spot shadow quality, I'm going to put that to low. How much does this doesn't really... All right, well, I'm going to put that on medium and this on low. Particle lighting, I have it on medium. The ambient occlusion, I have it on the MDAO. And then the GTAO quality, you're going to want to put this to low. So, or low, actually, I have it on medium. This is the ambient occlusion adds soft shadows intersecting with each other to create depth. And the ground truth ambient occlusion, it sets a quality for ambient occlusion on static objects. I'm not really that concerned with that. So lower that to medium. Some of these settings got changed when I restarted my game, so I'm not sure why. Screen space reflection, put this on low. Again, this got changed when I relaunched it. I don't know why. NVIDIA DLSS, I have this off. You can try it and see if it works for you. I've actually found it to work better for me if I'm using this Fidelity FX super resolution. Again, this got changed as well. I'm not sure why. I had it on quality. Because this is a sizable frame rate gain with almost no impact on image quality. So I felt like it was a no-brainer to try this out. You guys can try all these different settings to see which one works best for you. Try this one, see what your frames look like, go to the next one, lower, 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 see what works best for you. And if the quality isn't quite there for you yet with what you want, just leave it on quality then, and then test it out. I leave this on the Filmic SMAA T2X for the anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing quality, I lowered this to medium. Filmic strength, I dropped it to 0. Again, some of these settings just got altered. I don't know why. VRAM target usage, I do 90%. If you start noticing crashes or anything like that, you can always lower it to 80. I leave it on 90. Gameplay, so color customization. This one's actually pretty important because you can customize a lot of your enemies. You can change the color of your teammate, your party. So I would recommend messing around with this to see what you like best. So my FOV is 120. You can do like 110, 115, whatever. That, again, it's all personal preference, and console has it now. Obviously, the higher the FOV, the better, so you can see more angles around you. If there's someone on your left, right, up, down, whatever, you can see them better than you normally would on previous Call of Duties, especially Warzone. The ADS field of view, I have it unaffected, so it doesn't zoom in too much for where if your FOV is way higher. That's just my preference. You can change it to independent, so when you zoom in, it'll zoom in at like the normal FOV. So if you're using like a red dot sight or iron sights, it'll zoom in a little bit further. So that's why you'll probably see more people using higher zoom scopes. But I prefer affected. Camera movement, I put it on the least. Motion sickness, whatever. I just prefer less. Makes the game seem cleaner to me. World motion blur, weapon motion blur, both off. I've heard some people just put this on for low latency mode. On plus boost. That's what I use. That's what I've always used in pretty much any of the Call of Duties I've played. So that's what I would recommend. That's about it for the graphics settings. I'm going to switch over to audio. Again, I had this like on 5 just to have a little bit of music, and it changed. Dialogue volume, I lowered this to 90. Master, have it on 100. Sound effects, 100. Mute game when minimize, off. That's up to you if you don't want audio and it's not running. Hit marker sound effects, I changed it to classic. I've always liked the classic hit marker sound. I might try the Vanguard one, but again, it's all preference. You just got to play with both, see what you like. Audio mix, obviously I have headphones, so that's the audio mix I chose. Killstreak music, I turned that off. I just think it's not worth having, and it might be kind of cool if you're just kind of vibing or whatever, but if I'm recording, streaming, I don't want that like blasted in the background. Mono audio is off. Audio is split between left and right audio channels to provide directional sound. On, left and right audio channels are combined into one. Don't really want that. The only reason that I would see turning this on, for me, as an example, I'm just gonna leave it off. But I am hearing impaired, deaf in my right ear, so it might be beneficial to me to have it on, so I get all the audio for left and right in my left ear, so I can hear everything. But I do have like very, 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 very low hearing in my right ear. But I also don't want to have it on, so if there's a guy in my right and I hear it in my left ear, I'll think they're on my left, and I look left, and then they're on my right. So play with that, but I would recommend leaving it off. Game sound device, default, you can change it to whatever you want it to output at. Voice chat, I turned it off recently just because of the toxicity in the game chat, and if I'm recording, whatever, I don't want to deal with that. Interface, make sure that this is subtitles. You can change the text size. You don't really, again, this is all stuff that you guys can play around and see if you like it. FPS counter, I have it on. FOV counter, I have no reason to show it. VRAM usage, I don't see a reason to show it. Server latency, I have that on just so I know what my ping is like in game. Packet loss, I have it on so I know if I'm dropping packets in game. GPU temperature and processing time, I have it on. GPU clock is off, processing time off, system clock. It's up to you if you want to turn it on or not. So you can, if you're gaming for a while, you don't have a clock, you have the time up here. That's all preference. Mute sound warning, no, don't need that. Mute sound warning displays a red banner in the telemetry widget as a warning when muting voice chat. Yeah, so leave that on. Telemetry label size, default, I don't want it taking up too much of my screen. Horizontal HUD and vertical HUD, 100. Minimap, make sure it's on square. Don't have it on circle. Rotation, I have it on. Crosshair bobbing, I have it on. I haven't been able to tweak this too much to see if I like it or not. I'm going to try and turn it off to see if I like that more. Play around with this, see which option you like more. This doesn't really affect your frames too much. Skip intro movie on. Use system mouse cursor. That's up to you. Mouse tooltips, in-game alert icons. I would recommend leaving that on so you know if you're high latency, packet burst, whatever. Shader warnings. So that is it for the interface. So now we're going to go over to my controller settings. I have it on 7.7 for my sensitivity. I didn't change the ground air vehicle multiplier just because I'm probably not going to be using vehicles too much. ADS sensitivity multiplier 0.9 just seems a little snappier to me when I ADS. Custom sensitivity per zoom, I don't have that on. I just leave that off. My button layout preset is tactical. So I have it on tactical because I use an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller with 4 paddles on the back. So my melee is B, which is my bottom right paddle, and my crouch is the stick, so it's easier for me to slide. That's just my preference. Most people play tactical. it depends on what you like. Go through all these, see what button layout you like, play with it, and go from there. You can flip LB and RB with the triggers if you prefer to have the bumpers as your triggers instead of the triggers. I don't do that. I prefer to have the triggers. Vertical aim on foot. Pretty much all these are standard vertical aim air vehicles. I don't have them inverted, so if you go look up, it goes down, and vice versa. Just leave that on standard. Aim response curve type. I have it on dynamic because that's what most people have played on in most Call of Duties. That's what I've seen a lot of the pros play, from Jowo to TP, all those guys, Scump. They usually use dynamic. Play around with all these different options and see which one you like best, see which aim feels best to you. I like dynamic the most. Controller vibration, make sure that's off, please. Weapon fire threshold, I have it on. It will simulate the gun's trigger with the different thresholds, fire different weapons. I have that on. ADS sensitivity transition timing, I have it on instant. ADS sense multiplier steady aim 1. Stick layout, leave that on default. If you like Southpaw or any of these other ones where you look a different direction, that's up to you. I don't. Controller orientation is up. Some people have it sideways, I guess. I didn't even know that was a thing, I'll be honest. Left trigger, min input dead zone, I have it on 0. Same with the right one. Left stick input dead zone, I have it on 5 for both of these. And then the max, pump it all the way up to, I think 99 is probably best instead of 100. So leave that as that is. The trigger dead zones, it's best because if you're pressing the trigger, it'll respond a little bit better and quicker. So make sure that you have those all the way down there. For gameplay, target aim assist, I have it on. I haven't really tried any of these other options. I just have it on the default. So play with some of these other options, see which one you like best, see which one works best for you. ADS aim assist, I have it on, only effective for campaign and zombies. It doesn't, when ADS, your aim will quickly move towards the enemy target closest to your crosshair. It doesn't work in multiplayer. It's not like when you aim, it'll snap to someone. That's what that is. Weapon mount activation, ADS plus melee. So if I'm aiming and then I hit the melee button, it'll mount me. Weapon mount movement exit, I have it on. So if I move away from the wall with my stick, it'll pull me off. The exit delay, I just left it on long. That was the default. I didn't change that. Depleted ammo weapon switch, I have that on. So if you're completely out of ammo with no ammo to reload and you pull the trigger, it'll automatically switch guns for you. To each their own. Blind fire, I have it on. I haven't even come into play with that yet, honestly. So I haven't come into an engagement where I am blind firing. So I'm not too sure where that applies. Automatic airborne mantle partial. So if you're really, really close, it'll probably do it for you. If you're kind of far away and you're trying to mantle and you're hitting the button, it'll prevent you from falling if you're jumping from a building and it's going to grab the ledge for you. So I didn't change any of these things, so I just left that on partial. Mantle stance queuing, I left it on. I didn't change that. The automatic sprint, I have it on automatic tac sprint, similar to Warzone. You can change this to whatever you like. I just prefer the tac sprint, so I'm not mashing my left analog stick all the time to tac sprint. So that's just my preference. Auto move forward, I have that off. Sprint cancels reload, I have that on. So if I'm if I'm trying to reload and then someone surprises me and comes up behind me and I need to get away, I just push forward on my analog stick because it has auto tac sprint. And my guy will stop reloading and just start running. Sprinting door bash, I have that on, so you mash through doors if they're closed. Slide behavior, I have this on tap. So you immediately slide instead of needing to hold it to slide. Aim down sight behavior, I have it on hold. I haven't really seen people toggle it. It seems weird to me. Equipment behavior, hold. So if you're holding the right bumper or whatever frag stun button that you have, if you hold it, then you throw it. That's what most people use. Steady aim behavior, have it on hold for holding your breath. You can toggle it if you want, so you're not holding the stick when you want to steady aim if you're sniping. So that's completely up to you. I have it on hold because I don't snipe too much. I might change that if I do start sniping more. automatic weapon fire behavior is hold, press and hold to shoot, release to stop. So if you tap the trigger and then your guy's just gonna constantly shoot, and then you tap it again to stop. Just hold. I had this on prioritize. So the interact reload behavior, I have it set to prioritize interact. So if I'm near a door or anything like that, that's what it will prioritize. That's why I had it for Warzone. I might change it to prioritize reload, so I'm not like prioritizing picking a gun up off the ground if I'm trying to reload, or if I'm near a door, it's not going to prioritize opening it if I need to reload. So if you do prioritize reload, you tap to reload and interact if both are available at the same time. So if you're on top of like 4 bodies and there's guns all around you and you're out of ammo and you need to reload, you just tap to reload instead of holding it. This is all personal preference. If you like holding to reload when you're in those situations more than tapping, just play with this and see what works best for you. I'm going to use prioritize reload. Scoreboard behavior, that's just toggling so you can see the scores and everything like that. When you're all done, just make sure you apply all these settings, and I think that's everything. So again, I appreciate all of you guys watching this video. I hope you found this as helpful as possible. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. Join my Discord. There will be a link underneath. I'll try to help you out in there as well. We've got a lot of good people to help out in there when you guys need help with anything. I recently moved over to YouTube to stream on this platform instead of Twitch, and I'm enjoying it over here. So if you guys would subscribe with that notification bell hit, I would really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. Thank you guys for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.